Marketing attribution is the practice of figuring out which marketing efforts contributed to a conversion and giving them credit. A search click, an email open, a webinar someone attended 3 weeks before the deal closed, an ad they saw 5 times without ever clicking. All of those are touch points. A good attribution system answers 2 questions: which channels and campaigns are driving revenue, and where to spend the next dollar. Done well, it lets you defend the budget with real data. Done badly, it leaves you with a dashboard nobody trusts and nobody acts on. Here's the problem. Most attribution tools are powerful. They have sophisticated models, configurable time windows, multi-touch logic, and because of that, they end up being used by exactly one person on the team, the one who learned the tool. Everyone else sends them questions and waits for an answer. The complexity belongs in the model, not in the interface. When a stakeholder needs to know if email is outpacing paid search, they don't need to learn the model. They need the answer. Let me show you what that looks like in practice. Let's start with the most natural question anyone on the team would ask. Which channels are actually bringing in the money? Notice that the question didn't specify a model. By default, this is last touch attribution. It's what most CRMs do without telling you. It credits whichever channel happened to be there at the final touch before the conversion. It's a fine starting point, but it's not the whole picture. We didn't tell Scoop how to check this. We just asked the question. To answer it, Scoop has to compare what last touch is showing against a model that takes the entire journey into account. Same data, 2 different stories. Last touch hands most of the credit to retargeting. Data-driven significantly raises webinars and email. The default model your CRM is running was hiding half the picture. This is the question that matters. Which channels are doing real work that the default model isn't seeing? These are your hidden winners. The channels that open the conversation, that move the buyer from the middle of the funnel toward the decision, but never show up in the final touch. When you cut budget based on last touch alone, these are the first ones to pay for it. Credit is one thing, but budget isn't decided on credit alone. It's decided on efficiency. So we ask the simplest possible version of that question and let Scoop figure out what efficiency means. This shifts the conversation. A channel can generate a lot of revenue and still be expensive. Another can generate less, but be 3 times more efficient. The decision of where to scale comes from combining both views. This is where attribution stops being a report and becomes a decision. This is what a marketing analyst used to spend 2 days putting together, with 3 exports to Excel and a pre-alignment meeting. Here it was a 5-question conversation, and anyone on the marketing team can run it without ever touching the model. That's what changes when the complexity lives in the model and the interface stays simple. Attribution stops being the analyst's project. It becomes the team's tool. If you want to see this flow applied to your own data, the pipeline attribution recipe is linked in the description. It lets you replicate this analysis on your own channels in less than an afternoon. Until next week.
Losing hours on data analysis? Scoop investigates for you and provides answers in 45 seconds. Don't know why revenue dropped? Scoop tests multiple hypotheses and finds the root cause in under a minute. Scoop Analytics is your AI data scientist.